another series that has a love triangle with brothers in it. I loved the way everything was interconnected and all tied together in the end. Hi besties, welcome to today's video. We're going to be starting a reading vlog that should be really fun while also being pretty productive. I'm in the middle of quite a lot of series, so I've brought out the receipts, aka my reading journal, to see how many exactly I am in the middle of. Okay, this actually is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm currently in the middle of 10 series, and that is only counting the series in which the next book that I have not read yet has already been released. There are a few more series that I'm in the middle of, but I am up to date on them, like ACOTAR and such. So those ones are not included in the 10 series that I'm currently in the middle of. Anyways, if you haven't read the title of this video or gotten the gist of this video yet, we are going to be completing series that I'm in the middle of. There are a lot more series that I would love to start, but I feel like I would like to finish some before starting some new ones because it's kind of overwhelming to have a lot of worlds, a lot of stories that I'm in the middle of rather than having them completed. The first book that we will be reading in this video, the first series that we will be completing, is the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts. Now, I know she just announced that she is coming out with another novella in this universe, but this series is primarily a trilogy, and this is the third book in that trilogy. So, in my mind, it feels like completing a series. Anyways, if you happen to not know what this series is about, it became wildly popular on TikTok because Lauren Roberts was actually posting her process of creating the book on TikTok, which is so cool. She ended up gaining a following while she was writing this book, and then once it was finally released, it really took off. I loved Powerless. It follows this girl, Peyton, who is an ordinary in a world where ordinaries are hunted down and killed, essentially, because the elites think that their ordinariness is contagious. In their society, elites are people with powers and ordinaries are people who don't have any powers. So they have this king, this ruler, who has declared to his kingdom that the ordinaries are contagious and are a plague and are weakening the kingdom, so they must, essentially. And like I said, our main girl Peyton is an ordinary, but she has spent her whole life disguising the fact that she's an ordinary by faking that she has a power. From a very young age, her father trains her to pretend to be a psychic. In actuality, she's just super good at reading people and reading people's tells and knowing what they're gonna do next. Anyways, she gets herself into a very sticky situation in the first book where she has to participate in these games, which is kind of similar to the Hunger Games in a sense, but in Powerless, it's these set of trials that young people are competing in. There is also a romance that unfolds that's full of yearning and angst and banter between Peyton and the king's son. So as you can imagine, that's a bit forbidden. Like I said, I loved the first book. I also loved the second book in the trilogy, Reckless. A lot of people did not enjoy that one, but what can I say? I ate it up. Now this third one came out a couple of months ago, and I've kind of put it off a little bit because I just wasn't completely in the mood for it, and I really wanted to be in the mood for it to enjoy it as much as possible. And yesterday, the time finally came where I really felt like I was in the mood for it. Or did I start the day before yesterday? No, I think I started it yesterday. On page 171, and I've only just recently discovered what I feel like the main plot of this book is going to be. There's kind of a reintroduction of a trials element going on, which I love in fantasy books. I feel like trials always keep me so engaged and keep books really fast-paced. I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far, but it is a beautiful day outside, so I think I want to go down to the pool and read. So we are gonna change and then go take Fearless down to the pool. Besties. It is now the next day and I have read a lot more of Fearless since we last chatted, so we have a lot to discuss. I'm now on page 425, aka chapter 54. This far into the book, that means I have like 150 pages left, which is concerning because a lot has to unfold and then retie itself back up for us to get like a solid ending. I do have a feeling that I know potentially exactly how this book is going to end. We'll see. There's been some foreshadowing that somebody's health is not doing so well, which is concerning. But I don't think Lauren Roberts would have put that in if she weren't going to do something with it. So anyways, we've had a few plot twists take place. One major plot twist that really changes everything. When it was first introduced to us in the past timeline / perspective that we're getting in this book, I knew what they were hinting at, but I was like, I need a family tree. I need a family tree immediately because this is concerning. But that has since been explained. We know the family tree now, but our characters do not. This is probably very confusing if you haven't read the book yet, but spoiler-free reading vlog, so I'm not trying to spoil anything for anybody. Another thought that I had, because as you guys know, I really enjoy this series, but it's one of those series that I mainly just enjoy for the vibes. Like, it's not exceptional life-altering writing by any means, and when I really think about it, I do feel as though Hayden's character is pretty underdeveloped, because I love her with Kai, but when you take Kai away, I think if we were just reading a book about her, it would be so boring, which obviously isn't something that's ever going to happen, so we don't have to worry about that, but it's kind of nice when your characters can stand on their own and feel more like real people, if that makes sense. Like, if you were to compare her to Selena Sardothien, there's a night and day difference. Selena didn't need to end up with who she ended up with for me to want to read her story. I don't know if I'm alone in those feelings, or maybe you guys have thought that way too, but that's just something I was thinking about. I do, however, love Kai, and like, he's definitely underdeveloped as well, but there's just something about, I just love how down bad he is. Like, through this entire book, he is just yearning after Peyton. This quote right here, I underlined it because I feel like it really just summed it up. They're at a ball and Peyton took her shoes off because they were hurting her feet, and in Kai's perspective, he says, "This girl holds my heart in her hands, could crush it between her fingers and still have me thanking her for the touch. And I hold her shoes." I'm just overall having a great time reading this, even if it's one of those books that you just like can't take too seriously. So really excited to see how it's gonna end, see if it's gonna end the way that I think it will. And there's one character right now who is being very sus. So I don't know what they're scheming, but they're cooking something up. But yeah, I have a little while till I need to leave for work, so I'm just gonna sit here, read my book, drink my coffee, and have a wonderful time. Okay, hi guys, I ended up finishing Fearless last night. I think I'm gonna land on 4 stars for that book. It definitely was not 5 stars, but I feel like it deserves 4 stars just because I did really enjoy it, and I am a fan of the series. I don't really think I have much more to say about that one. If you happen to have not read the Powerless trilogy yet, now that it's like a completed series, I think it would be a great time to read it if you enjoy YA fantasy that's just like fun and easy to read. But now that I've finished reading Fearless, it's time to complete another series. And it's time to complete another series that has a love triangle with brothers in it. If you can't guess what I'm reading next, I'm reading The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. If you haven't heard of the Inheritance Games trilogy, it's a YA mystery series that's very similar to the movie Knives Out, in which our main character Avery receives a massive inheritance from this seemingly random billionaire when he passes away. And this billionaire leaves a series of games, puzzles, riddles, and such for Avery and his grandsons to solve as to why she was given the inheritance. They're just quick, easy YA books, really short chapters, very easy to digest. Not my favorite series ever, but I have the 3rd book in the trilogy, so I feel like I should just complete the trilogy. I'm not sure I will read any of the other spin-off books. I think I'm personally more of a fan of Jennifer Lynn Barnes' other series, The Naturals. That one I actually loved. The Inheritance Games, I think I could have loved if I would have read it more in middle school or high school, but I think I'm maybe past the point in my life where I would be obsessed with this series, if that makes sense. It does read very YA. But yeah, as this trilogy goes on, more and more things unfold, more mysteries come up that they have to solve. Avery also ends up in, like I said, a love triangle with 2 of the brothers who both like her, but I think in this book, she's mainly just gonna end up with one of the brothers. We will see. But I'm very excited for once I've finished this book, I will have another series checked off my list, and I will see you when I have more thoughts on it. Hello, you guys. I am now on chapter 42 of The Final Gambit. I think I'm parked like right under a speaker because I feel like I can hear music really loudly. Hopefully you guys can't hear it, and hopefully this video doesn't get copyrighted. We'll see. Anyways, I am enjoying the final gambit, but I feel like it's not really what I'm in the mood for right now, so we'll finish it in this video, but I'm gonna pause it for now because I am in the mood for a little romance. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I want to read a little romance outside. So we have come to Barnes & Noble to pick one up. I have one in mind that will complete another series that I'm in the middle of, but we'll see what I get. Good morning, besties. So I ended up having very poor time management skills the other day. Right after the bookstore, I had to rush to work, so I did not have time to give you guys a haul or start a new book. So I did just end up finishing the final gambit. I ended up listening to the rest of it on audio, and it was honestly a good audiobook. I'm kind of conflicted on what I should read it though, because overall I had a great time reading it. I just don't think that series is for me anymore. Like I previously said, if I would have read it when I was a little bit younger, I think it would have been a 5-star series for me, but now it's probably like a 3.5-star series for me. I do think that Jennifer Lynn Barnes is the queen of writing the YA mystery. I loved the way everything was interconnected and all tied together in the end. I feel like this book ended with a good conclusion, but it also left a little bit open for her to start writing her spin-off series that she's written. At this point, I don't really ever see myself being super drawn to reading any other books in the Inheritance Games universe. I am very happy with just completing the trilogy and leaving it there. With all of that being said, we need to get into our book haul. These are just little things that I printed off at Staples for my reading journal and my scrapbook. Look at this Conditions of Will collage. I love it. Anyways, that's not part of the haul. The first thing that I got is this little pack of bookmarks because I don't own any actual bookmarks. I always just put the most random things in my books, and I always look to see if there's any bookmarks that I like, and there's never ones that I really want. But I saw these and I'm obsessed with them. I bet you can guess why. They have little bees on them, and that always just makes me think of Magnolia Parks. There's 3 of them in here, and they're like magnetic, so I guess you put them over the page and then it stays like that. Super cute, all just little bees and different flowers. And then I got 2 books. The first one is a 4th book in a series. Can you guys guess what it is? Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This is the 4th and final book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. The Rebel Blue Ranch series takes place in Wyoming, small town romances, they're all interconnected. Very similar to the Chestnut Springs series. And then the second book that I got is One Gone Summer by Carly Fortune. I went to Barnes & Noble to get this book, but then I saw this one and I had to get it because it is so beautiful. Look at the art on the inside. And now I'm conflicted, you guys, because this is obviously completing a series. And this, if we bend the rules a little bit, can be completing a series because it's technically interconnected with one of Carly Fortune's other books, Every Summer After. And this just looks like the perfect summer read. The main character is named Alice, and she spent one summer at her nan's cottage when she was 17, and she took a photo of 3 grinning teenagers in a yellow speedboat, and that image changed her life. I think that image inspired her to become a photographer, and the 3 kids in that photo are 3 characters from Every Summer After. Anyways, this book takes place back in Barry's Bay, where that photo was taken, where Every Summer After is set, and Alice goes back to this place for I don't know what reason. Oh, to go take care of her nan. Anyways, I just have a feeling I'm gonna eat this book up, so I really want to read it. I also really want to read Wild and Wrangled. I feel like I should go with Wild and Wrangled because this is staying more true to our finishing series theme that we have going on for this vlog, and can read One Golden Summer next. Okay, which bookmark do we think I should pick? The orange or the green? I think maybe the orange. Hello you guys. It has actually been quite a while since I filmed those last clips starting Wild and Wrangled. It's been like weeks. So I have since finished this book. But basically, if you didn't notice, I did take a little break from posting. I didn't post anything for a few weeks, I think. Basically, I was just feeling very uninspired creatively. I was getting through books what felt like very slowly in comparison to what I'm used to doing. And my skin was breaking out horribly, and I was just feeling very insecure filming myself. But I finally edited and posted another older video last week, so I feel like I'm starting to get into the swing of things. I thought about scrapping this whole video because I felt like there weren't enough clips for the last book, and I was like, no, I can just talk about my wild and wrinkled thoughts now and close out the video now, and that's fine, right? Anyways, I ended up loving this book. It was my favorite that I've read so far in the series, and the last one I gave 4.5 stars. So I think this one is also 4.5 stars. I just liked it a little bit more than Lost and Lassoed, is that what it was called? Anyways, it is a second chance romance between Cam and Dusty. They were like high school sweethearts. After they graduated, she was meant to go off to college and he was meant to go off to work. So that and then several other things kind of pulled them apart, but they both end up years later back in their hometown of Rebel Blue Ranch, and this is the story of them rekindling things. Obviously, a lot has happened in between. Like, Cam has a kid with a whole other man. But one thing that I really enjoyed is you come to find out that Dusty never stopped thinking about Cam the entire time. This man is down bad, and he has been down bad since the moment he met this girl. But yeah, I was told with the dual timeline, we get the present timeline and the past timeline of when they were younger. I honestly really love when books do that, so I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I thought it was such a sweet ending to the Rebel Blue Ranch series. Obviously, we were primarily focusing on our main characters, but we got lots of bits of the other characters in this book as well, since it's kind of closing out everybody's story. I loved the way all the other girls were there for Cam when she needed it during this book, and all the characters just feel so real and have like such good chemistry bouncing off one another. So yeah, this was a perfect summer read. I read some of it at the beach, and that was honestly fantastic vibes. To recap this video, I think we ended on a 4-star for Fearless, 3 stars for The Final Gambit, and 4.5 stars for Wild and Wrinkled. This video kind of feels like it was all over the place, but hopefully I can edit it in a way that does not feel like it's all over the place, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it. I have some very fun videos coming up because I am traveling very soon. Literally some fun travel content, reading abroad content, all that good stuff. So subscribe if you want to, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.